But all right, let's move on. Let's move on because I'm sick of talking about the White Sox. I don't even like the White Sox. I don't know why I talk about them so much. Let's move on to the Bears because the Bears are making moves. Bears are doing really well, I think, in the offseason. And I said this in my first podcast. I said this in my second podcast. I expect the Bears to be a playoff contender, at least make the playoffs in 2016. But that's going to take a lot from Ryan Pace this April in the draft because I'm looking, even with all their offseason signings, there's still some holes. The positive thing is they got all the guys that they wanted to target. For example, their big offseason acquisition was Danny Trevathan, which is awesome. Big time acquisition. Huge upgrade from Christian Jones and Shea McClellan, who, by the way, signed with the New England Patriots. They also signed Jarrell Freeman from the Colts, another inside linebacker. Another upgrade over John Timu, who was okay, but John Timu, no. He's not a game-changing NFL starter. Not saying Jarrell Freeman's that crazy game changer either, but he's consistent. He knows how to play the position. Stuff to run, so can Danny Trevathan. Akeem Hicks was a defensive end that they wanted to bring in this offseason, and they got him. And it's awesome because that defensive line needs some big-time help. I'm looking at the roster right now, and I see guys like Mitch Unreen, who they brought back as a depth piece because John Fox liked them. That's great. Eddie Goldman, who had a great year last year in the nose tackle position in that 3-4 defense. Will Sutton, okay. And then you have Lamar Houston and Willie Young, who was very productive last season with the Bears. He was probably one of the Bears' best tacklers and defensive line presence. And you know what? He didn't even want to be a part of this 3-4 defense. But he was, and he kicked ass at it pretty much. He was very impressive. Very impressive. So you look at beyond the front interior, whatever, the defensive line, middle linebackers, they got some improvement there. And it leaves open the question if they're going to decide to draft on the defensive line this April, which I wouldn't be opposed to it. I believe in Ryan Pace. I think he could put together a good draft. He put together a great draft last season. Had a few guys start. A lot of guys start. Grasu, Adrian Amos, list goes on. And they might have to look for a tight end because they were able to move Martellus Bennett to the New England Patriots for a 4th-round pick. They also traded a 6th-round pick. But in return, this is a great value, in my opinion, because, one, the Bears had 3 6th-round picks to begin with. And if you kind of look at it, the Bears traded the Patriots John Bostic last year, and in return they got a 6th-round pick. So then they gave back the Patriots a 6th-round pick plus Bennett, and in return they got a 4th-round pick. So essentially it's Bostic and Bennett for this 4th round. Hey, not bad. And by the way, you look at the Patriots and their tight end situation, Rob Gronkowski and Martellus Bennett, wow, good luck. Good luck, NFC or AFC. Good luck. That's tough. Well, whatever. Back to the Bears. You look at their secondary. Antrell Roll, is he going to be back? If you cut him, like they got rid of Bennett's salary, that's another that's more money. That's more money to the cap space. Able to bring in free agents or spend effectively on guys that they want to bring back. They also brought back Mark Mariani, which I like a lot because, yeah, he's not the greatest punt returner. Probably people are going to say, find somebody to replace him, but he's a decent depth piece for the wide receiver position. Jay Cutler had a lot of success on 3rd down with him, which means he was confident in him to make a play, and he did. For the most part, I think back to that Packers game. He had a few 3rd down conversions to Mariani, which was awesome. So I was happy they brought him back. They also brought back Zach Miller. And they obviously needed to shore up the tight end position because, well, they don't really have anybody at tight end besides Zach Miller. Brought back Rob Hauser, but, I mean, what is that? What is that going to do for you? So you want to look at tight end in the draft? Could happen. I'm not opposed to it. What Ryan Pace set the Bears up this offseason was a opportunity to pick the best player available at 11 this draft, which I'm excited about because obviously the Bears need some pieces like we talked about. You need more depth in the quarterback position. It's going to be Kyle Fuller and Tracy Porter. Bryce Callahan, I believe he was a undrafted free agent who stepped up and won the job over Sherrick McManus in the nickel spot, which was great because Callahan proved to be way better than Sherrick McManus on defense. McManus is brought back as well. McManus will be a special team. That's his only job. That's his duty, is to be a special teams guy. He shouldn't be on defense. But you need guys like that. You need guys who could fill in roles. Harold Jones-Quartey even stepped up in the safety position, played a little nickel too. That's great. They got guys, but at the same time, you need playmakers. And Kyle Fuller hasn't proved that he's a playmaker. You know, he's got talent. It's obvious. He can make plays, but his instincts, got to work on it. And I think they're in good hands, though. I think they're in good hands with Vic Fangio and that defense, John Fox too. And it was a big deal that they brought back Tracy Porter because he was their best cover corner last year. So that's a positive. So you look at it, the defense as a whole: Pernell McPhee, Will Young, Eddie Goldman, Will Sutton, Akeem Hicks, Mar Houston, and you put it together, there's still some holes there. I'm looking forward to this draft because I think if the Bears hit on some draft key positions, because you look at it overall on the offensive side, you're pretty good, except really at tight end, and maybe you want another left tackle. We'll see. They brought in Bobby Massey, right tackle from the Cardinals, who projects to be right tackle, which means Kyle Long can move back to his natural guard position, which is great because he's fantastic there. That would be something exciting. But that leaves Charles Leno at left tackle. Do you have faith in this guy? We'll see. It remains to be seen. And of course, you'll have Kevin White back, which people keep saying it's like they have 2 first-round picks this year because Kevin White will be his official rookie season if he's healthy. So that's exciting. You got some stuff to be excited about. Obviously, the franchise Alshon Jeffrey. They got some weapons. Zach Miller, he has to stay healthy. Jay Cutler has to be consistent. Jeremy Langford, Kadeem Carey have a lot on their shoulders with Jacquez Rodgers coming back as well. So Bears got some pieces. And you look at the draft, they're able to hit. Hey, all I'm saying is they'll be there. They could be there, especially with Cutler at the helm. I'm a big believer in Cutler. I think Cutler can lead this. I think the Bears can win a Super Bowl with Cutler at the helm. So fight me on that. I don't care. That's my opinion. I think he's the best Bears quarterback they've ever had. Sue me.